In this video, I will show you how to send data from microcontroller to a backend application. I will use ESP8266 microcontroller and Node.js for the backend. I will develop backend from the scratch. In this project, we will have a system that will log the button press. Basically, what happens is we have a switch that connects to the microcontroller. When user press the switch, it will send request to the backend with the timestamp, and backend will save that. So finally, we will have the system that will log the button press of the system. Initially, we will see the circuit diagram, and then we will move to the microcontroller program, and finally we will develop the backend application from the scratch. Let's start with the circuit diagram. In the circuit diagram, we have connected the D1 pin to the button, and other side of the button will connect to the V-in pin. Also pull down with the pull down resistor and the ground pin. Okay, this is the microcontroller code. Here I'm using ESP8266 Wi-Fi module and HTTP client module, and also the time module. First, I have defined the SSID and the password of my Wi-Fi and the server URL. This will be the URL of our backend. Here the base domain is HTTP and in my local IP address and the port, because currently my backend application running on the local machine, and local machine is connected to the Wi-Fi. So this is the IP address, local IP address of my PC, so that I can use that, because my microcontroller also connecting to the same Wi-Fi, so then it can connect to this IP address. That's why its base domain comes like this, and this timestamps path is the route that receive the timestamp from the microcontroller. Alright, and rest of all the thing I will not be discover, because I hope you have basic understanding how Wi-Fi client is working and how you connect to the Wi-Fi and everything, and you can easily find all these things, and I will upload this code as well, and you can go through. But my interesting part is HTTP request method. Here what happen is we are going to send request to our server from the microcontroller. So this will be the method, and you can call this method whenever you need. Also you can have variable here also, and you can pass data to this function and send data from this request, right? Because this is the basic idea, and you can make this advanced as you want. So here it is first see the if the Wi-Fi client is connected. If it is connected, then it will create HTTP connection, and it will begin with the Wi-Fi client and the server URL, and also it will add the HTTP header. I hope you have a minimum idea about what is HTTP request and its method and its some meta basic data. Okay, and here I have set content type to application JSON, right? So basically this says the content type of the request, right? And here I have I got the time here. This is in milliseconds. So I get with this function, this will be the current standard time in UTC, but actually it's not in UTC, it's in millisecond. That we call as a unique epochs, right? So it's like this big number, right? So this is in a millisecond, and so I'm going to send it in the request body. So I am creating request body here. It is a JSON object, so you have to have query bases, because content type is application JSON, and we have the timestamp keyword, and the value is UTC time in millisecond, and I convert it into the string. Alright, and I will just print the JSON object as well, and we are going to initialize HTTP request with the HTTP post method, and you will get the response here. And here I have handled the response if it is success or fail depending on the result. I am printing the result here, and I will end the HTTP request here. So this is basically the HTTP request sending part, and you can use this function anywhere you want. Let's say you have, or if you want to press button and send a request, you can have this function called whenever button is pressed. This is how we do here. And also, if you want to send any data, let's say you have to send data from a temperature sensor, and you can pass this data here, and you can call this function. So you have to get this, let's say int temp here, and you can just add values like, let's say we copy that and comment here. You can pass temperature, and you can have this temp value here. That's the thing. That's the all you want to change, right? Okay, I hope you have at least a basic idea how you use such thing. All right. Okay, and here there is some little bit thing to show you. I have set up inside the void loop. I am reading the digital pin, which is the D0 pin here. I have connected the switch to D0 pin, and whenever the button is pressed, I have set this. I have called this HTTP request function, and it will send a request. Actually, basically, idea here is whenever user press the button, it will send request to the server, and server logs the time. It will send the request with the timestamp, so then server knows when the button is pressed, right? Okay, now let's go to the server side code. Okay, first you have to install Node.js. You can download it from the Google. You can type Node.js, and probably you will get the first result. You can go inside and you can download it from the site. You can go to downloads, and you can download from here, right? Windows installer or whatever, depending on your operating system. Okay, after you install the Node.js, now you can create the backend application. I have created the folder called Backend, and I open it from the VS Code. Now we are going to develop our backend application. For that, you have to initialize node application. You are going to type npm init, right? Then it will ask some configuration things. You can give any package name here. I will keep the backend as it is, and version also, and everything I will keep the default as it is. And at the end you will show the configuration result you have selected, and I just hit enter. Okay, now we have initialized basic backend application package.json file. This is like a basic configuration file for backend. Okay, now we have to create our backend server file. Before that, we are going to use express.js framework. This is a framework for creating REST API very easily. So for that, we have to install express as well. For that, you are going to type npm install express. Now it will install the express application, express framework. Okay, now we have to create our first JS file. I will name this as index.js. So this is like an entry point for backend. Any HTTP request will come to this file, right? So first we have to import our express framework. Const express Nokia Express. Alright, now we have to create our app component. App express, you can call it like a function, then you will get this app component. So this app component will be responsible for handling everything related to request and responses. So let's have another variable called port, which will be the our port, which will be the port that backend will running on. Okay, let's give this as 3000. So then our backend application running on the port 3000, and we have to give the method to listen, app dot listen, that the port here, and this is a callback function. When the application start correctly, that will be running, and we are going to print here some messages. Server is listening on port. We are going to give dynamically, so that we can have this annotation, so that we can give port as a variable. So whenever you change port from here, it will be printed here correctly. So this is a basic thing. This is actually a simple server, but it does not handling any request. But you can start this like node index.js. This is the command we are going to start. Actually, this is the command we are running any JS application in Node environment. Just node and the file name, right? Alright, let's write, or I have to save that first. Okay, alright, our server is running. So that means this server is listening on the port 3000. If any request comes to the port 3000, this server will receive that. So then we have to have controllers that will handle the incoming requests, right? So basically this app component is the major thing that will handle the everything, right? This listen method is also a method that will pop up the server, and likewise we have some more methods. Let's say you have to handle post request or get request, then this app method have those methods. Let's say we have to handle post request, app dot, then there is method called post, and inside you have to give the path. What is the path that route handler should handle, right? So let's give this as timestamp, because we are going to receive timestamps from the microcontroller. So in here timestamp, and then you have to give a function to handle the request, right? In this function we have three objects: request, response, and next. Don't think about next, we are not going to use that anyway. For this video we are only using request and res. This request, it will represent the request object. This res mean this is a response object. So in request you have everything in the request. That means request may have query parameters, headers, body parameters, everything you can access from the request object. And when you are sending responses, you can do modification to the res object, and so then you can control the response as well. And the next object is something different one. I'm not going to go in this video. In later videos we will deep dive into these concepts. For this video I will keep this simple as much as possible. So alright, then we have the request handler, and we are going to receive our body parameters, because we are going to send the timestamps in the request body that request are sending from the microcontroller. So we have to access these timestamps from the backend application. This is how you access that. You can have const body equals request body, right? So this will be the body object. This will contain all the parameters in the body. So we have this, right? So then we can check if body dot timestamp, right? This is the value we are going to access from the body object. And if timestamp is there, that means it's a valid request and we have the value. We have to save that. For that I am going to create a empty array, timestamps. Okay, this will be an empty array, right? This let keyword defining a timestamp empty array. That means this value can be changed later, but if you keep this this timestamp value can't be changed later. It's like a constant, but anyway it doesn't matter if you keep letter cons. We are just going to push values into the arrays, so we are not going to change the timestamp array. So then if timestamp is there, we are going to push it into the array. Timestamps dot push is inbuilt JavaScript method for arrays, so you can push that directly. Body dot timestamp, right? So this will push into the array, but this timestamp value is something like a number, right? It is a millisecond value. We call it as a unique epoch, but we need it in the readable format. We need it in the standard UTC format, right? So we have to convert that. We can convert it easily from the JavaScript date object. We just pass this into the JavaScript date object, then it will automatically create the standard UTC time and it will push into the timestamps array. Alright, so then if timestamp is not available in the request body, that means this request is invalid request, right? So then we have to send the response, right? Rest dot status. This status code will be 400, which is for the bad request, right? Then we can also JSON can send data for the response as a JSON format. We can status can say failed, and we can have a message as well to know what happens here. We can, let's say, missing timestamp. Alright, this is the request handler, and here also we can send the response as it is successful. We can send 200 and JSON type. Here the status will be success, right? Because we are successfully added value into the timestamp array. So we don't need the message here. Alright, this is our first route handler. This will receive the timestamp value from the request body and it will push into the array. Alright, this is all from the this is the major requirement, and then we have to see the values, right? Whenever timestamp values are changed, we want to see what are the values, so that we are going to have a HTML file so that we can see in the browser. So I have pre-created HTML file, so I'm not going to go through all the code. I will just paste it here, index.html, right? And I paste it here. So what happened here is, it is a simple HTML file. It will show all the timestamp values line by line, and what actually happened here is, inside the script tag, it will request to the server and it will get the data from the server, and it will render all the data from here. So for that we have to have this route as well. I will just remove this API part. It's just timestamp, right? This will be a get request, so we have to have a get method to return the data to this request, right? So here dot get will be also time. Let me copy that here, then it will be easy. Okay, here also same route handler, request, rest, and next. And also you can omit the next part since we are not going to use that. In later videos we will see how this next works, because we have to have many more things. We have authentication, authorization, and data encryption. Everything we have to have for the standard, so that one by one we will go deep dive and discover all the thing. For the moment I will keep this simple as possible. Okay, now we have that. What we are going to do is we just send the response. Rest dot status will be 200. There will be no failure status here, and JSON we can just pass the timestamps array. Alright, now we are returning the timestamps array. So this is fine, then good, everything good. And also we have this index.js file. We have to serve this as well, because it is just a index dot, it's just a HTML file. We have to return that whenever user type the domain in the browser. So for that we have to have a file serving method. In Node.js there is a module called path, const path require path. This will be responsible for handling file paths and everything. So we can use this path to handle our HTML file and serving as a static file. So what you want to do is first you have to use some another middleware. This will say app.use. So anything you can have, any function you can have with the use keyword. What happen is whenever a request is received, this will go into this function here. Initially it will go into this function. So basically this is we call as a middleware. That is why we call this as a middleware. So any request comes into that and then only go below that. So you can't skip this middlewares whenever you have it is in the top. So whenever request is comes, we are going to have a express file excel file serving method. With that we have to use express dot static, and you have to give the dir name. This dir name will be the base path to this index.js file. So keep this as it is. This is how we are going to serve static files. So without that we can't serve static files, so that you have to have this middleware settled in the top of your server file, and then we can just write our path here. We are going to serve it as static file, so it will be get till the base domain and our handler and file. So it will be a res, and now the send file method, right? Okay, in this file we have to give the path to the HTML file. So for that we are going to path.join method, and we are going to dir name and index.js, because we are going to use this dir name. This dir name is like a path that is always give the correct path to this index.js file, and it will combine with the index. It should be HTML, right? We are going to return the HTML file, so it will combine with the HTML file. That means, let's say our JS file is in something like C, users, and node application, and index.js file. Let's say it is like this. So then what happen when we are joining with dir name, and index.html, it will just take this path up to that, and it will join with the index.html. so this is what happened here. So then it will return the HTML file. Alright, this is all about the backend side, and also you have to have another express middle layer to handle the request, that is called express.js. So without that it will not correctly shape the request object, right? Just add that as well. So this is all about our index.js file. So then already we have to just start the server. For that we are going to node index.js. okay, now service listening on the port 3000. now let's see whether our index.html file is serving correctly. okay, I will type localhost 3000 because it is the port our backend is running. So and we got this HTML file. So okay, now everything is fine. Now we just have to connect the we just have to start the microcontroller and press the button and see whether it is working. Okay, now I have connected my microcontroller to the PC, and let's restart the microcontroller. And also my backend application is running at port 3000. okay, it is syncing time. it's taking too long, let me restart again. okay, connecting to Wi-Fi. alright, it's fine. Now let's press the button. alright, it's updated. You can see we got the timestamp. Let's press again. alright, we got the result. okay, and this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoy. If you really like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.